attract people to your brand. Episode 1, Core Values. Welcome to today's lesson, Clear, Focused Messaging. I'm Jodi Jones, a New York City fashion photographer and creative director with over 20 years experience working with brands on their marketing strategies. My series aims are to give influencers, creatives, and entrepreneurs a set of tools to attract the right people to their brand the right way. By the end of today's lesson, you will know how best to communicate with your clients, leads, customers, and other people within your business. Telling people about what you do and how you do it is actually the easiest part of communicating. And because you're passionate about your business, it comes naturally like a duck to water. The flip side is that your target has heard it all before, and the opportunity to actually engage them and build a brand, that brand trust, has been completely lost. You only have a short window to wow them. And if you're just talking about your product or service, well, it's a bit boring. It's time to think outside the box and really look at the value messaging through your client or customer's eyes. There is a huge dividing chasm between brand messaging. That's where you build recognition and awareness, to a product and service messaging, to where you list the features and benefits. The space in between needs to be filled with value messaging. That's where you look for opportunities to show the client or customer that you have the answers to the problems that they are looking to solve. You need to be clear about the difference your company can make to them on a very personal level. This requires a process of first gathering all the information you can about your target audience, formulating your marketing strategy based on their very specific needs, and then going through a review process to determine the success of the value messaging or lack thereof. How to check if it's working. There are a few ways you can get a good idea of the effectiveness of your message. You could shadow a sales call or follow up with chats with your clients in order to paint a picture of what they say about your business, what the common problems are, and if your company is actually solving the problems the way you claim to. Interviewing the last few clients you won, as well as the ones you lost, in order to get feedback on what was done well, what was done poorly, and what can be improved for the next time. Likewise, call long-time repeat customers and clients often and check to see if they are happy, why they have remained with you.
Why you remain with me? I don't get it. What are you doing sticking around with me, huh?
Likewise, call long-time repeat customers or clients very often and just touch base with them, check to see if they're happy, and try to determine why they have stayed with you so long and if they have any ideas based on their experience dealing with your company.
Be vigilant.
Be vigilant. Always be looking for ways to improve your message. It's not a static thing that can be left unchanged for years. It must be fluid. It must be assessed and reassessed according to market trends, engagement, and other metrics. People change over time, and your client and customer base certainly will. And you do not want to be left stuck in the past with ineffective value messaging. Put yourself in someone else's shoes for a moment. Does your value messaging answer the age-old question, what's in it for me? Is the message simple, easy to grasp, and does the tone of voice match? Make value uniform across your business. Ingrain your value messaging into every part of your business. Remember, it's not about what you do or how you do it, but about the benefits and experience. Frequently update your taglines, slogans, social media content, elevator pitch, website descriptions, absolutely everything to make sure that the messaging is clear and uniform across your business. If you're not sold on it and have to think hard about the message coming across, then how do you think the person on the other side will feel? Probably bored and confused, moving on to the next one instead of choosing you. Lead by example. Think of strategic value messaging as the framework that governs everything you do within your business. The core beliefs present in your storytelling and how you get the message across has to be reflected across all facets of your business. This means all interactions with team members, prospects, customers, clients, partners, and investors. In short, you have to walk the walk and talk the talk. It's one thing to train your staff, but it's another to teach the company values through your actions. I heard that Steve Jobs was so focused on putting the customer experience paramount that he would focus on the value Apple could bring to the customer first, and the design and the product engineers second, effectively working backwards. A little goes a long way. Sometimes it's the small things that get noticed. Those tiny gestures that, if often done, become part of your company's ethos. They soon add up and pay dividends. Things like rewarding a repeat client who pays your invoices on time. By going the extra mile and showing that you appreciate the business they bring to your company, this could be in the form of a dinner where members from each company mingle and build relationships or partnership. It could also come in the form of small incentives for your prospective clients. It could come as a form of a discount offer, even to your existing customers. Both of these gestures won't break your bank, but they do bring value to your business from the other person's perspective. Let me give you an example of a wedding photographer I know. One thing that he does to bring value to his clients is when he first gets a lead that someone is interested in having him be their photographer for their wedding, he always makes it a point to meet them in person, usually over a meal. He wants to personalize the experience and really get to know them and what their needs are. This creates a sort of a bond with them, and it's not expected. So the person is more likely to continue down the avenue with this particular photographer instead of going off searching for someone else. They've built a connection. Another thing that he always does is after he shot the wedding, he makes a point in his calendar to mark their anniversary down. And 1 year later, always on the dot, they get a personalized card, usually a favorite print of his that they didn't choose, that he wanted to print for them and give to them, along with a bottle of wine or some other small gesture. And what ends up happening is they want pictures for a friend, or they're getting ready to have a child. So now they hire him to photograph family portraits. So it always ends up leading to more business. In my fashion business, I get a lot of samples sent to the studio that I'm going to photograph. Well, I happened to have a client over who was looking through some of the cashmere samples I had, and he fell in love with them. Now, this is a regular client of mine, and he was trying on the clothes and very excited. So you better believe that he is going to get a beautiful cashmere sample very soon. That little touch with a personal note will let him know that I care that he's my client. To briefly recap what we have covered, here are a few key points to remember from today's lesson. Incorporate value messaging into every part of your business. Constantly review your effectiveness. Lead by example. Small gestures mean the world to your clients and customers. Now, this week's task for you. Go back and listen if you've recorded any of your Zoom meetings or any of your sales pitches that you might have done, or even over old emails where you've pitched to your company. And look at the value messaging that you're sending and how effective you think those were and how you can improve them. Interview the last 3 prospects or clients by offering something like a free coffee or a lunch or some other small incentive, and do the same for your last 3 customers or clients. Get to know what attracted them to your business and what actually drove them to make the decision to either use you or not use your service. The team here at Jodi Jones Studio hope that today's lesson gave you a better insight into the real importance of value messaging in your business. See you next time. Be sure to check out some of the extras I have in here, such as my cold calls. You can read some of my follow-up emails and my value messaging copy. Enjoy.